Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tina and I'm delighted to be here and scrapbooking with you today. So I am doing the first project with a collection that I know I'm going to need to work with a lot. I never considered myself a zoo person, but then what ended up happening was I realized I had all these zoo pictures that I had not scrapbooked, as well as for some odd reason our travels recently had taken us to multiple zoos and even zoos in different countries. So I put together this special bundle, and I'll put all the details in the description of the video to link to my website, but I'm going to be working with this Color Play A Day at the Zoo collection. And I am actually only doing a few scrapbook pages, this one scrapbook page, and then I'm doing a few cards with it. My plan is to really use this. I got to show you this stamp set. It's so good. This is the stamp and thin cut set. My plan is to actually do a full card set with these little guys, reworking some card sketches and sharing how you can create your own card sketch book, which I think is such a great idea to have. I love all my books that I keep all my stuff in. So yeah, good things. Okay, but look, how cute is this? You get a lion, a cheetah. That zebra has got such sass. Zebra's got some sass. But there is no giraffe on it, so this is the perfect one to let me use up all my stuff and scrapbook this really important moment that I haven't had a chance to scrapbook. All right, let's dive in, and I'll share details as we go along. All right, so I also offer scrapping kits. It's something that I do. And scrapping kits are like pre-cut, really simplified scrapbook layouts. All the pieces are enclosed, and I'm just putting some stuff aside. I did some pre-work. All the pieces and everything are enclosed, and you just put them together and have a great time, and then you're done. When you're done, you've used all your pieces and you move on, and they're super easy. The reason why I mention that is this is something that I offer in those kits to kind of create your own sky. So this is a technique that I'm just going to share with you, and I'm going to just move some stuff out of the way. So I have my craft mat, and I have a one of my soft cloths next to me that I'll use to wipe this off when I'm done. And what's really nice about this, it's just a simple design space cut that I have cut out of what I call throwaway paper. I buy paper to make templates with and stencils and all kinds of things, and I just call it throwaway paper. And this was in a scrapbook class that I had taken, and I really like it. All right, I'm going to be using this speckled egg. Now, this is going to be more muted and softer than the paper that I'm going to be using for my background. All right, I tend to be heavy-handed. I want to show you a difference. These are my Distress Oxide brushes, and I never wash them. So I get different tones sometimes, and I'm okay with that. I honestly believe that's the smartest thing for me to do, to not have to clean my brushes every time and all of that. These are for my water-based brushes, which I do clean every time, and I lay them out to dry. This one has a much bigger head, kind of like the ones that I just started stocking. Hold on. These are, you can see they're almost identical in every single way. These are the ones that I'm now using and stocking, and they're softer. There's a larger head, and the bristles move a little bit more easily. Those are all things you kind of want to check out when you're looking for your brushes. This is smaller and a little bit tighter, and because I'm heavy-handed, I can get more spots, we'll say, where you can see that I've just pushed a little too hard. So I'm going to try to be very soft while I do this. All right, I've just grabbed a scrap piece of paper out of my trash so that I can do a little rubbing off each time that I do this. All right, here we go. And speckled egg is very, very light. I just need to get a little bit worked into the brush. And I tend to be even more heavy-handed with the lighter colors, which is going to make this here. Look, I just did one. See that little mark right there and how much darker it is? I'm hoping the camera will pick it up. That's kind of what happens when I am super heavy-handed. There you go. Too much ink, heavy-handed, this is kind of, it ends up with these really big marks. I hope this one, I did that one on purpose so you could kind of see. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start doing this. Kind of like a less is more. I'm just going to go back and forth. And I'm going to kind of get this going a little bit. And I do not need to do this down the entire page. I am covering the bottom portion of the page. It's like a gift because then you don't have to do it, you know. And if I'm a little off, I will add another strip, like no problems, another strip of paper. All right, now what we're going to do is we're just going to move it. See how that blue has picked up there? We're just going to move it. Now for this one, I'm going to kind of move it here, and then you always have to kind of match, and this side is a little higher, but I'm going to show you a little tip for that. So I'm going to move this over here. And we don't want to see a break in this. So one of the things I'm going to do is not really go near the edge a whole lot there. See? Back and forth again. And just so you can move that cloud line, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to match it on, like, just kind of flip it over and say, okay, I'm going to match it here. But I'm not going to go anywhere near the end again. Don't even know that I needed a little bit more there. And you'll kind of get this blended kind of, and there it is. See? It's a great way to really add, and I'm hoping that the camera is picking it up. It is a cloudy, snowy day here. I love snow, but this is what we're dealing with. All right, I want to do another one. So I'm going to keep it on this side. I'm going to move it down considerably on this one. Re-ink back up. And here we go. Just nice big soft circles. I can feel that I'm getting a little heavy-handed. So when I do a little lift up and kind of like shake my hand a little, it's to reset, kind of like reset my pressure for myself. I don't know why, I'm just naturally heavy-handed, and it does affect multiple things in my crafting. All right, while I'm finishing this off, I'm going to show you this, and then, sorry, I'm going to finish this one. Look at that. How gorgeous is my cloudy sky, right? And you're just adding those depths of color each time as you move down and change your line and do all those things. It's going to be so pretty when you're done. Once again, this is Distressed Oxide Speckled Egg. And it's really going to look so pretty next to this bright kind of blue that we're using. Now, part of, oh, I really wished, I can see I'm a little off, but that's okay. Not going to the edge. I can tell I'm going to have so much fun with this, but this is one of the kits where I'm trying to incorporate a whole series where we also use things out of our stash. So for this one here, no cardstock. There's no cardstock. You're using all cardstocks from your stash on these projects. So just because, you know, we all need to use up. You can see here I can match it and kind of just follow right in that little area there. See if it's picking it up. I am doing a very light color. Let's see, there's, and then I flipped it over to the other side, and I'm just going to go just like that. It's just super simple. All right, there we go. I think I'm just not going to re-ink and just kind of see if I have enough on here to, some nice big circles. You can even overlap them if you want and go back again and again. I think I'm getting close to being done on this page. That looks really good. I'm going to do one more, just leaving it on this side now and go back and forth. And I can kind of, like, if you start to see a pattern, then just off shift it a little bit more, bring it back, flip it over different times. Or maybe you're a person who likes the pattern, keep the pattern. This is going to be my last one. I'm going to go ahead and do this one off, and then I'm going to do the other page with the same way. I'm actually going to take this template here that I did in Design Space, and I'm going to put that link in the description of the video as well in case you want to pick this up. Another thing that you can do is you can see a lot of these are just different circles. If you're not a person who uses Design Space, you could just take some circles and trace it like this, you know, right across using different, you could even attach some thin cuts together, trace them off, and then free cut those, and you will get a lot of use. Just do it out of, you know, a little bit thicker of a paper. Okay, guys, I'll see you back in just a few minutes. Okay, so my sky pages are all done. Those backgrounds are complete. I really like them. And now I mentioned I don't clean my brushes, so I just wanted to share with you. All I do is I just take a bare piece or a scrap piece of paper, and then I just kind of run my brush off a little bit in each way like this. Another thing you can do is if you want to clean your brushes and just kind of like lightly clean them, you can just kind of mist them and run them off and let them air dry. You know, mist them a couple times. I've done that. I guess I might as well show it. You just kind of give it a little bit of moisture, and it's going to activate the ink that's in there. It can get really messy, but also I have to tell you, this could make oh, sorry, I just realized I'm jostling the camera. It can make a really cool background. You can color some background or anything like that with it, but this will also get some of the ink. It does blend all the inks together, and you can get some of your inks out that way, and then just let them dry, and then when they're done drying, you just want to do the same thing, not with it dry, and just run them a little bit. So I'll put that over on my drying rack, and there we go. I do not clean, I try to be very low maintenance with my crafting. I'm finding that with my scrapbooking, one of the things that I started to deal with is, I don't know if you're experiencing this or have noticed this, but it was like you needed more and more and more to scrapbook. We needed to have more products, more things, more supplies, more, and it became really overwhelming. Look how pretty our sky background is. Once again, that was the speckled egg distress oxide for this color here. And you're going to see this is a lot lighter. And it meant to be because my pictures are not fantastic. That's another thing. Let's all get ready because I do not have always fantastic pictures of my events. And my thing is they are the pictures that I have and they are the stories that I want to tell. And I want to scrapbook them anyway. So I have a feeling we're going to be scrapbooking with some not so great pictures here in the upcoming future. All right, let's move this over. This is that blue that I am going to use. You can see it's going to be very complimentary though. All right, let's look at this Design Space. And what I'll do is I will put, so that there's just one file, I will put my sky piece that I use along with this giraffe Cricut cut all in one file for you and put it in the description so you don't have to go looking for it. All right, I have, and I'll leave it in there the size that I've cut it. All right, this is cut at 3 3/4. Oh, sorry guys, I do that all the time. Here you go, 3 3/4 by 3 1/4. And I'm just going to use this corner rounder to round the edges of this one picture because this cute little frame also has that. I'm going to go ahead and put the frame together. And here is the paper that I had to use. So this giraffe paper is part of this zoo collection. So perfect. This was a bucket list item for me. And my son he took these pictures and he told me he had a hard time taking the pictures because he was watching me. And I was just so excited. I think I was probably more excited than any kid there. It had been on my bucket list to feed a giraffe and pet a giraffe for a while. I had no idea that this could be done, not even an hour from my house. And so my son took me, and it was amazing. All right, I'm not going to put glue on the edge right here because I want to leave that open to slide my picture underneath. All right, the whole thing, except the white piece is the base, but this whole thing goes into layers, and so I want to kind of be a little careful with that little part right there, just on the black part, so I can slide it under there, and then using that liquid glue, we can slide this into place and get a good fit on it. And if you see little white lines, I did use a white. You could have cut the white in anything you want outside of the mat that goes around the photo. It's pretty much covered. But if you have a little bit like this and you really don't like that, you can just ink it with sponge and some black ink or with a marker. Look at this. Now this paper here is the giraffe paper. The other side of that I'm going to tell you about the cut that I did. I really wanted this part here, Born to be Wild, which is on the opposite side of it. But I needed this paper to cut the giraffe and get me 2 4x6 photo mats. So what I did was I sliced it here so I could have these 2 animal prints. These were across the bottom like this. Make sure, hopefully I'm in frame, guys. They were across the bottom like this, and I took that out of that right there, making sure I preserved that other animal print. We're going to need it because we have so many things coming up. We're going to be working with stamp and thin cuts and these cut aparts. These are so good. Well, I guess they're die sheets more than cut aparts because we're using our dies and they're going to cut perfectly. All right, here we go. And I will not be using the stamp and thin cut set on this project, but I will be using it on, I believe, all the cards. We can go ahead and put the glue all the way across the front little, is it a paw? Is it a hoof? I'm not sure. All right, here we go. Once again, I'm going to slide it in. So my giraffe is obviously a giraffe. I did not use the overlay that will be in the file. I just cut the one solid piece, but I will leave the overlay in the file in the event that you are going to try to make this with just papers you have on hand and you don't have this giraffe paper. I want you to be able to make that as well. But this giraffe paper is next level. Look at that. Look at my giraffe. My giraffe is so cute. I didn't have to do anything, right? All right, this is a very, very, very light brown that I went with. You could maybe go with a lighter peach or something as well. This is going to be the little nose, all in the Design Space image, so you'll be good to go. And this is an access image as well. How awesome is that? Here we go, a little bit more. Getting our cute little giraffe all together. Look at this thing. How cute is that? And because we did not put on the black layer, we'll be able to put our picture right underneath of it, just like this, and it will be good to go. I feel like I almost wished I had trimmed my picture just a tiny bit this way. Maybe just a tiny, tiny bit more. I'm worried about doing that now, though, because sometimes I end up with an off corner when I trim it after I corner around it, and then I corner around it again. So I think I'll just say enough is enough. Oh, I could have shifted my tail just a tiny bit more there, but stuff happens. All right, let's start getting this together. I'm really excited to share my scrapbooking journey with you. Almost as excited I am to actually do my scrapbooking and potentially make a huge dent. I've been sharing how I recently found thousands and thousands of photos that I thought to be lost. It was a tragedy when it originally happened, but it was many years ago now that I thought I had just lost thousands and thousands of pictures, and I just found them. Blessed in abundance, that's all I can say. All right, so I'm taking the 11.5 by 11.5 and I'm putting it on the 12 by 12, and look at that color combination. You see we have the brighter blue around the outside now. This I pulled out of my stash. I would compare it to, if you're still using up your Close to My Heart, Capri. But it's just like a pretty sky paper. Use anything that you have to make that work. Okay. Same for our other side. And sometimes I like to do my layouts on this, the 11.5 by 11.5, so I can trim pieces off and stuff, and then attach it later. It kind of gives me more perfect edging. God has a sense of humor. I cannot cut straight to save my life. All right, and one of the things I made sure is you'll notice now from looking at it that my cloud lines do not perfectly match. You're not going to notice it when it's in the book. So be easy breezy and have fun creating these sky backgrounds. They look so good, and we're going to put so much on top of them that's going to be great. All right, so I have this here, which I knew I was putting on. And I have this here. Let me get you a measurement on this, just in case you want to use the same size I'm using here. This is 5 inches, and it's out of this paper right here. And I cut both of them out of the same, and it's 5 by 11.5. And you'll notice I'm leaving a gap at the bottom. I have plans to put something in there. This here is the leaf paper with the toucans on the back. It's just a great way to bring in every color that is in this pack. Okay, that's going to go there, that's going to go there. Now I have 2 sets of grass because I had originally cut this out of jade, the Close to My Heart jade. I'm going to try to help you guys use as much of your stash. But when I put it on here, it was an exact match. And I was like, oh, and it's the dark side of jade. And I was like, oh, my grass doesn't stand out enough. No, no, no. So then I cut it out of this, which was darker. And I have this. Don't send me hate when I show you what this is. But look, see, it's nice and it's darker and it's going to stand out a little bit more. This is actually the opposite side of fern glimmer paper from My Colors, which I'm obsessed with the glimmer paper now. I'm to the point that I'm just buying every color. I love it so much, but I don't want the glimmer. What's so fantastic about this is glitter paper is really expensive in comparison. This is almost the same price as a sheet of paper. I think it's like 10 cents more or something, which is so affordable. But what I love is normally glitter paper, the other side is just white. So you just have glitter paper, that's all you have. But this, it really is a way to give you more and use up your papers and just get a larger variety, and I love that. Okay, I love bringing in stripes. So I didn't pre-cut these because I wanted to see how big I wanted this bottom stripe before I got started, and I think I'm going to go with 1 inch. All right, I used some of the other side of this to do a photo mat. I think 1 inch might be a little too big, so I'm going to just cut 1. See, I think I want 1 inch, but sometimes then I don't. I want 1 inch. What a shocker. I do like to go with 1/8 measurements because, once again, God has a sense of humor, and having me do 1/8 measurements is always fun. All right, let's go ahead and get these down. And I like how the stripes go up and down here. And they just bring, once again, these are all the colors that you would want. So it kind of brings everything together. And I'm going to, this I cut by 12. So I'm just going to bring it over and I'm going to trim it. This is what I meant earlier when I said sometimes I like to just, you know, then I would be able to flip this over and just trim it off. I like to do all of my 11.5, and then attach it. But, you know, sometimes where there's a will, there's a way. Okay. And now we're going to put all the pieces down for both pages, because these are just going to butt up against each other. Okay, go ahead and put the other pieces on. Oh, I think I might be out. Let's grab another one. Might as well kind of prep my pieces. I'm not going to do the grass because I'm going to attach that with liquid glue. And I want to put that on the top. I remember once upon a time I would try to do all of my pieces and not just a few with adhesive, and it was always a nightmare. I am not coordinated like that. Okay, so this is that 5 by 11.5. I'm going to put that on. Both sides. 3/4, 11.5 by 3/4 on this leaf one. And this is really creating a nice background for us. Oh, I like it so much. All right, we're now going to attach our grass, and as tempted as I might be to attach the glimmer side up, I'm not going to. I'm just going to put a fine line of adhesive right here so I don't have to play as much with holding that piece and trying to get the glue on it. This is just going to be so much easier. There we go. Same thing for the other side. So I'm going to share with you a little story about this day. Not only was this less than an hour from my house, my son found it. I was so excited. I was like a child who had never been to the zoo before. It was absolutely phenomenal. My son took me. We had the best day. But I couldn't get over that I got to do this whole giraffe experience. So while we were up there, now my son is with me. You may have noticed there are no pictures of Jacob with me at all. And the reason why is after he saw how excited I was, he did in fact give me all of his time and all of his leaves to continue feeding the giraffe. I basically was like, yes, I will take all of your time. So he just said, no, I want my mom to have all my time. Okay, look, isn't this cute? This is going to be really cute right there. I have a few more pictures that I'm going to bring in. Now, a lot of my pictures, I cannot complain because he was awesome. My son was awesome. But I don't have great pictures, right? The giraffes are moving. Jake's working with my camera, which he's not used to. I think some of them might have been taken on my phone. There's like a mixture here because I can tell from the color variations. But I loved this day so much and this experience so much. And it was just incredible. Just so incredible. Now, I'm looking at my photo placement, but I just kind of want to share and show this. So one of the things that I like to do sometimes, this is our new sketchbook. It's being released January 15th, 2025. And this is layout 7, second chance. There's 19 sketches in here, 16 two-page layouts. For the whole thing is 12 by 12s, but 2-page layouts and 3 singles. One of the things that I like to do is I don't always look for a sketch. Sometimes I'm looking for just ways to place my photos. And so you can see this detail focal that came over here, and this big one, my giraffe, is taking the place of that. This one's going to come in here and go like this. I now have 2 4x6s that I'm going to put on this page, 6x4s, excuse me, on this page. And then my pictures don't line up on the side here, but that's okay. I'm going to replace these 2. All right, it just it gives me an idea on something that I might want to do. I am a sketch scrapbooker, so it also relieves some of the pressure or the stress I might have from placing my photos. So I can tell this here on the back says Fuji, so I probably got these ones from Persnickety, and they were probably from the camera. And then the one that said Canon on the back is probably printed from my selfie from my phone. I do have a mixture of pictures and all, and I'm just going to go with it. I am scrapbooking my life's journey, my kids' life journey, my family's life journey, just everything this year, a high focus on just getting as much scrapbooking done as I can. I'm really liking how this is coming together. And there's this Born to be Wild, which is kind of a ha-ha because I'm so not Born to be Wild, and I'm going to be sharing that. I'm taking a black marker and just going around that pocket card. It's going to, I'm bringing a little bit of black into this. There's a really dark color down here, but it is not black. It's a gray. But I'm going to bring a little black in on this and my print and cut, and that's just going to hide any little line that I have. I'm really liking this. And now what I did was I have the giraffe over here, giraffe paper here, the yellow here. I have some yellow going here. So just to balance some colors out. And then that dark green is kind of like the dark green that's in the background that we have. Here we go. And we're going to have a nice balanced layout. There we go. And I think I'm going to like this a lot. Now, in the picture here, it's offset because these are smaller in this particular sketch, but you see it still works for your placement. And you can always flip things. You can always put this to the outside, move this to the inside. It's just really simple ways to change up your layouts and see what flow works best for you. I'm going to go ahead and put it back. As I'm putting it down, I'm going to be putting it back. All right. And you can even, because we only did the bottom of the grass, if you want to take the time to kind of like lift your grass up a little bit, when you just do that real fine line of adhesive, Can lift this grass up, spend that extra minute. It will go flat again in your book because we're not going to add any dimension to it. It's really just going to be for placement. And then when I place this down, and I'm looking for, you know, about 1/4 of an inch here and across the top. But some of that grass will just kind of come right over. And if you want to double up your grass or make it bigger, you can do that as well. Okay. We'll put this one in. And I'm really sticking with the outer measurements on this, so 1/4 of an inch from this side and this side. It can be a little bit bigger in the center. You know, I feel like I'm really looking forward. I'm having a simplified crafting experience this year. I'm just checking for where I want to put this, if I want it all the way up, but I do think I want to bring it a little closer. And let me just kind of straighten my paper out a little bit there. I want to bring this a little closer to this one. I want it to be equal above it though. How this one had that coming off, I'll have this little color at the bottom and about 1/4 of an inch from the side. You can see we're losing a lot of that sky background, but we know it's there. We're going to see parts of it, so it'll be so worth it. And then for this one, I'm going to line it up to the center, or to the right line of this one, but then equal with this. I think this one's a little more adhesive. I tend to hold my photos a little heavy and then I curl them. There we go. I'm really liking this one. Slide that off so I can place my giraffe. Okay. For this one, I'm guessing about right. We're going to have to take a little look. I only need a little bit of this up over here because this whole picture goes on top of it. So we just need to get the back. Okay, flatten that a little bit. We're moving a little bit more over to the right, hoping I am in frame. Let's see. Okay. There we go. I do want this to be straight, so I'm just looking at that as well. And down it goes. Okay, for this here, I'm going to take my black marker and I'm going to trim it out just a little bit. All right, I already pulled one black marker. It looks like I'm going to have to pull another. The reason why is you can see the sky is so washed out, and I'm putting this white and this is almost white. So I want this to be just a very, very quick, very, very thin line. I do not want ink. I'm just using it to kind of provide a little separation from that same color since I'm not adding dimension. I want that to dry. It's just sitting on top of a little something off to the side. I don't want to risk getting any type of marker on if it's not dry. All right, we'll place our 4x6 on, and I want my 4x6 to be higher than this over here because I still have a title and all to put over here, but I want it to look good. I don't want it to be so. I don't want it to be all the way up. I want to see some. There we go. On that goes. All right, and what I did was I have this bucket list, and I originally did this in this color, and I was like, oh, it's so light, I don't like it. That's one of the things I love about Design Space, making things in Design Space. And look what I have, bucket list, feed a giraffe. I will be, I've done a lot of bucket list items, and I'm going to be scrapbooking them, so it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, but this is one of them. I'm trying to live my best life, and I think a bucket list item is anything you want to do. If there's a restaurant you want to eat at, that's a bucket list item. If there's a historical site that you want to visit, yeah, it's a bucket list item. They're all bucket list items. Every single thing you want to do is a bucket list item. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play with this a couple of times, and while I am doing that, yeah, I definitely want the darker. I'm going to look for some bling. All right, I'm going to grab a bunch and just bring it out. I think this green is a nice match. Since I used multiple greens, I might go that way. I have some oranges and yellows. I could do that. I'm going to stick with the green. I already know it. You could go with black if you incorporated a little bit of the black. Just whatever you have, this is a great opportunity to use up some of that bling that you have. I'm always looking to do that. It's been working really well for me just to decrease the amount that I have here. All right, I'm trying to... There. I was like, I'm trying to lift it up. I know I can, but all right, we're going to put this one down. There we go. And this picture, these pictures are really special. So after I got to spend this time with this little guy, just a couple years later, because this is a few years ago now, a couple years later, he actually did pass on. So the fact that I got to spend this amount of time with him was even more special. I was so happy that I got to meet him and spend this time with him. And he really did something for my life. And it was an amazing time. So it needs all the things. One of the things I'm going to do is go online, and there is a lot of information about this sweet guy. And I'm going to print some of that and add that to my journaling. So instead of having just a couple of journaling pieces over here, these photos are up a little higher. And then down here was where I had made notes for journaling. I filled that all in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some more embellishments, but I'm leaving all of this for my journaling right here. And I type my journaling, so I'll be able to put his name and when we went and everything right down here in a small type journaling and put all of that right there. And then over here, I'll add some things about what that day meant to me. All right, let's get these on. So I want to leave a little bit of room underneath to document those details as well. I'm really happy with how this layout is turning out. Okay. And you have sausage fingers like me, you need all the tools. Okay, I'm going to move that down just a little bit more and over a little bit more. I do not want it to compete with it. I want it to be over here. And the journaling underneath of this one will be even smaller. So it will have, it'll be smaller than this. No foam tape on this one. Okay, even have that little check mark in there. And maybe I'll share this. I've created this bucket list title. I just created this bucket list title file so that I can do these little check mark things. I can share that as well if anybody would like to have that. So bucket list, feed a giraffe. Let's grab some bling. And I also want to grab the stickers. I wasn't sure what I was going to want to use off the stickers, but I have them right over to the side. And there are a couple things. There's this zoo right here. And I wasn't sure if I was going to want anything up here, but I don't. I've covered up so much of that sky background. I don't want to cover any more of it. But that was in the giraffe pattern, as is this here. This here is in the giraffe pattern, so I'm kind of looking to see if I would like to add that anywhere. And I think I am going to cut a piece of this off. All right, I'm going to cut a little bit of it off. And I'm going to size it up to go right on the side of my picture here. And then I'm just going to cut it on an angle. Don't let that sticker hit my finger when I do that. Just a little tiny little triangle cut off of both of those. And we're going to put that right on the side. Just like that. I like that. We have all of these words, and I really, really like that. And we also have this one little giraffe. And I feel like I need to use that one giraffe. I'm trying to take away the thing, so I'm going to pull this off. I'm just sticking it right above me for right now. And I want to read these. It says, "The mighty jungle, you are one cool cat, monkey see, monkey do." This was my favorite animal. Let's pull that off. And that's in that blue that we use. So nice. Zoo day, so fun. The date is cute. Wild one. My little monkey, so much fun. Look at that. Let's go wild. There's so many different ones on here. Just pull off the ones that kind of pertain to what you're doing. I see a couple more that I might use. And I see some leaves here that I'm going to take too. I'm going to take this one right here and tuck it behind my photo. I do a lot of tucking behind my photos when I'm done. It's one of the reasons why I keep my adhesive away from my edges. It's just kind of like a preference. I'm going to put this one right here. I think I'm going to want to add one more. Let's use one of these. Okay. I feel like it would kind of get lost down here, honestly. Let's just put 2 in here. Make that one a little bigger. This was my favorite. I want to get the adhesive off of it. And I want to hover. I'm going to put my bling on last. I want to hover this little giraffe over a couple of spots. I think I know where I'm going to want it. But then I would have, I was going to say, well, I would have 2 giraffes on this page. There's a giraffe everywhere. All right. We're just going to look and see if we can add it. I like to see where I can add things. But I think where I'm going to want it is right here with my journaling. I think it would look really cute right here with my journaling. I'm going to try to take some sticky off of these using an anti-static pouch. My anti-static pouch. I don't want to get dust everywhere, so I'm just going to pounce it a little off camera. And I'm also going to do this with my favorite animal. Okay. All right, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to try to decide where I would like this. Really like that right there. This is really kind of cute. Here we're going to have these different lines coming down there. I think this is going to be the winner because you guys have to look at my face here. Can you tell I'm excited? I was laughing so hard. He was just like, yes, I'm going to eat your whole hand. And I was like, please do. Please eat my entire hand. So I think we're going to go ahead and go with that. Okay, get some foam tape. I think I'm a little long, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and cut the extra off, and I will put it, I like this sheet better. We'll put it right here. I like to put my extra little pieces of foam tape on this, something I've been doing that's kind of new. So I'm actually going to keep the sheet when I would use up all these dots. I used to stick it to my mat and stick it all over the place, and this is so much better. All right, here we go. And I like that this comes a little lower and goes a little higher. It really brings a lot to this. This was my favorite animal. I'm going to put just a tiny bit of adhesive on this because I won't know if my journaling is going to be one block or I'm going to use the strips. But I'll want to kind of put that in there as well. All right, I'm going back to the sticker sheet. And there's a thing here that says, we love the zoo. But I also like so much fun. It's going to be orange on orange. I'm going to want the we love the zoo. I like fun day too. Actually, I'm going to take so fun. As soon as I saw it, I went, that's my jam. All right, so fun. And I think I'm going to put it right up here on top of my picture. Cover up some of that white background that's going on. All right, and I'm grabbing for the bling, which means I'm just about done. All right, I'm going to use a couple of hearts on this portion over here, on this, each side of these over here. The green isn't that far off from what I have in here. And hearts, the hearts and the stars of these, they're always the ones I'm struggling to use up. I have zero problem using dots. You could send me hundreds of dots. I would use enamel dots all day, every day. And I love having the variety that these were, but it is a little hard. All right, so I'm going to add the lighter. These are all large, by the way, all large. I'm trying to use up large. I'm adding the large heart in the mid color, if you have that. All right, good. And I have others. It looks like I have more of the lights than anything else. Here's what I have left. But I really just don't like the lights, so that probably is why, at least not with this collection. All right, we're going to add a large. I'm just kind of taking a look at where I want it to go. There we go. And a medium. And I'm going to take a small one, if it'll give it to me. There we go. And see if I want to put it anywhere else. I kind of like the 3 right there. where it says so fun, I'm using that middle heart again and just adding a little heart to it in the small. This is a big bling, and this is a small of the darkest. There we go. All right, and right up here, I'm going to add I'm going to add another small. When you're using up your bling, you kind of want to just keep going. Just chip away at it, chip away at it. All right, let me see. The Born to Be Wild is super cute. You could even add hearts to that. But I think I'm done. I think I'm done. I will add my journaling here, and this is going to do it for me. This is a great page for today. I will be scrapbooking a lot more often. Let's take a look at the star of the show here, which is not me looking like crazy, excited, incredible. It's this. This Cricut cut is so good, but I do want to give you a measurement in the event that you are not a Cricut user, because this is also a great place to swap out and put a 5x7 photo. Oh, look, I grabbed my big one. Hold on. You guys would be like, what kind of crazy ruler is that? All right, so this measures down at, it's not quite 8, so maybe 7 3/4, and wide it is, if you count the tail, which I wouldn't, I'd probably count like right to here, it's about 6. So a 5x7 photo is going to fit there. You could even put, move this up a little bit, put 2 4x6s over here, bring this down and just kind of play with it. But I hope you guys like this giraffe layout. It really has turned out great. I'm looking forward to adding my journaling. This was such a special day for me, and I really like how this has turned out. The simplicity of the layout, I really like. I like the sky. It's there. Look over here. It's obviously so pretty. Look at that sky background. That's white paper and a little bit of ink. So great. I hope you guys will give this sky technique a try. I really enjoy it. It works great on scrapbook pages, cards, and anything. Thank you guys so much for joining me for today's video. And if you found this video useful, you liked it, you just like giraffes, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. It really helps me out here in the YouTube community. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment. I will love hearing from you and make sure that I get back with you. Thank you guys so much for your support. I wish you a blessed day filled with crafty goodness. Take care. Bye-bye.